I think that the whole movement around positive thinking is creating a lot of problems in the way people relate to themselves, to each other, and the way we actually create in our lives. So in this video today, I want to explain the 7 brutal truths I learned about life after I finally gave up positive thinking. I would love it if you're someone who really believes in positive thinking, please stick with me, watch the video to the end, and then let me know in the comments whether you agree with me or whether you think I've still got it completely wrong. All right, I'm gonna go and find my brother. He's somewhere else in this city at the moment having a coffee. Have a coffee with him, and I'm gonna let you know the first brutal truth in just a moment. All right, the first brutal truth. On my way to meet up with my brother, I've stopped at this little gym. I should be doing pull-ups rather than explaining the brutal truth. But the first brutal truth is that how you're living right now matters far much more than achieving your dreams. Now, whenever you're trying to think positively all the time, what you end up doing is you create this conception of ideal success in the future. The problem is that's always going to be in the future. If you're always trying to think positively about everything, you're trying to place a different definition on what's happening right now. You're trying to place a spin on it. But the truth is that what's happening right now, that's where all of the magic is. It doesn't matter if you're experiencing sadness or anger or frustration or really positive emotions like happiness and joy. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, that's where the magic is. If you can actually embrace anger, you can use it really powerfully because it helps you identify constraints in your life. That's when you can break things through. All right, just quickly, the second brutal truth, heading up the stairs to catch up with my brother finally for a coffee, is that failure is the road to success. Whenever I was trying to think positively all the time, I was trying to avoid failure at all costs because I was always looking for the signs of success, the signs of positivity. And I was trying to build my whole life around success and had different kinds of visualizing what was going on. When I started to embrace failure and look for where I was failing, that's when things really started to turn around. I managed to find my brother, Lachlan. I'm doing a video on the 7 brutal truths I learned about life after I finally gave up positive thinking. Brutal truth number 3, thinking is more important than doing. What I found, whenever I was trying to think positively all the time, I was always trying to use the power of my mind to create a picture of success. And I was trying to move myself forward towards that picture all the time. What it stopped me from doing was actually getting the work done. Okay, I've made it for coffee number 2. How amazing is this place? 4th brutal truth is that willpower doesn't help you achieve anything. Whenever you're trying to think positively all the time, you're focusing on your willpower to get you to somewhere in the future. The thing is, that's not what's going to get you there. What's going to get you there is creating habits and routines every day that what you do becomes automatic and habitual. For me, when I started this journey of building IdeaPod, I had so much willpower and it really did get me to the most wonderful places in the world, and I forced myself through. I had a lot of determination and drive. However, the thing that's mattered more than anything is when I slowed down and I really figured out what are the key things I need to do every single day and repeat over and over so that I'm not even thinking about the future anymore and I'm living in the present moment. The 5th brutal truth about life that I learned when I gave up positive thinking was that you're not actually in control of all that much going on in your life. I think we have this belief that our thoughts are the motor or the engine for the change that gets created in our lives. So all we need to do is think up something, visualize it, then start moving towards it, and that's how we create. Well, I think with the majority of the things that happen to us or for us or with us, it's always happening without our control. It's happening under the surface. Think of during the time you've been listening to this video, how many times your heart has been beating or how many breaths you've taken. Those are the most fundamental processes going on in your body right now, and they're happening without any kind of thought, and that's the thing that's really propelling you forwards. The thing I learned when I started to accept this idea that I'm not actually in control and that really my thoughts don't matter that much was that the majority of my action happens instinctively. When I'm actually in the doing mode, but I perform things not from the head, much more from the body, from very automatic actions that come about from the way I live my life. Okay, I want to tell you the 6th brutal truth that I finally learned about life after giving up positive thinking. It's this. I learned it from Osho, and he says that when you meditate, you need to become the witness of your mind, and what that's all about is
witnessing all of the thoughts that continually come your way, but not associating with them. If you're trying to think positively all the time, you're trying to control your thoughts. But a deeper form of meditation, a deeper connection with who you really are, comes from dissociating from your thoughts, because your thoughts don't define you at all. They just kind of randomly fire away. It's a very instinctive thing, and for me, I have very negative thoughts all the time, very positive thoughts, very compulsive thoughts. That's just part of who I am. And as soon as I started to relax around that and just let the thoughts fire all the way, I realized I developed a much, I think, more instinctive connection with who I am that goes far beyond thinking. It's really the thinking realm that takes me away from that deeper essence, that deeper connection with who I am. Alright, I've found my brother again, and it's the perfect timing because we're about to share brutal truth number 7. It actually came from my brother, and it's that the root of suffering comes from the pursuit of temporary feelings. Lachlan Brown, what did you mean by that?
Well, I think if you pursue things like excitement and joy and those temporary feelings, that you're never really going to be, fully happy all the time, because they only come, every now and then. So you'll always be chasing those feelings, and then, being upset when you don't get it. It's kind of like a drug addict who's always chasing that high. And then when they don't get it, they start getting irritable and unhappy, and it can really turn into some pretty bad emotions.
There's a bit of wisdom from the founder of Hack Spirit himself. That is our 7 brutal truths that I've learned after I finally gave up positive thinking. We're in for a treat for you right now. There is an extra bonus tip that my brother shared with us earlier today after he saw me being the greatest critic of myself after watching one of my videos. So I'm walking along with my little bro. He's just seen me trying to create videos, and he's got some practical advice.
Well, I think there's a little bit of self-doubt creeping into Justin. He's doing a video and then he's saying, oh, that was a bit lame, that was whatever. But I think it's the wrong mindset to have. It would be the same as when we tried to learn to speak to girls when we were younger. And when we first went up to girls, you get rejected. And then after that, you come walking back to your friends and be like, guys, I'm such a loser. I can't believe I did that. But I can't believe I said what I said to the girls. But the best attitude would have been to have, I did it, learn from it, and move on, instead of having self-doubt and self-criticism. I think I went on a bit.